tension is high in the Gambella region, and I want to clarify some misinformation that are going around and some certain narratives that's hurting both Nuer and Anuak alike. So if you do not know what's going on, Gambella region is mainly occupied by the Anuak people, Nuer people, and several other tribes that are native to that region. It's definitely true that there's a ton of refugees from South Sudan who happen to be Nuer that also occupy this region during this time. So there's Nuer people that are native to Gambella land, as well as Nuer people that came because of the Civil War. And those two things you have to be able to separate. So the narratives I want to correct is the facts that many of the Anuak people feel entitled that this land only belonged to them, and the Nuer people that's been here since the 18th century don't matters or it's not their land. That narrative is hurting both Nuer and Anuak alike. What's happening in Gambella is not quite new, but things are escalating because I believe that is a poor leadership that's not holding anyone accountable, right? So let's start with the Anuak youth. It's been, I would say, decades now where they terrorize Nuer citizens. They stop buses and kill people. They shoot people dead right then, okay? They would stop buses. Like, let me tell you, like, if you are traveling from I don't know if you're familiar with this region, but I am because I grew up in Ethiopia. I'm actually South Sudanese, but I grew up in Ethiopia. I spent most of my life in Ethiopia when I was in Africa. And they would stop buses between Yutang and Gambella, right? And literally would kill civilians. We're talking women, doesn't matter. Children, doesn't matter. Men, obviously, Whether you are native Nuer to Ethiopian region, it doesn't matter. Or you are Nuer who is a refugee in that region. They stopped countless buses, and literally Anuak youth would attack these buses and kill civilians over and over and over. This has been happening before I even migrated here in America. So it's been happening for quite some time, and it just keeps escalating year in, year out. Leadership has failed to protect the innocent people in this narrative. Another thing that's causing escalation is the fact that officials get murders all the time. People who works at the banks, professors at universities, they get murdered by Anuak youth. And these people are not held accountable. They might be arrested for a few years, and then they are released back to the street, causing more crimes against their counterparts, Nuer people, right? The situation that's happening in Gambella right now is the fact that civilians has been murdered. Innocent people who are officials like professors and people who work at the bank, whether you are a bank teller or an accountant, they just get murdered randomly, okay? So now, fast forward to today, the Nuer youth are literally taking matters into their own hand and just ambushing the Anuak community, right? They're attacking the Anuak community now. The narrative of they're coming to kill children, women, no, that's not happening, but they are after those terrorists that's been terrorizing the Nuer community. I'm not saying that I justify this. There's a better way to handle it. But the people who fail Gambella region are the leaders who keep putting these criminals back to the street after they attack the Nuer community. They are the one that failed the people. And the narrative that Anuak people are going around, Nuer people have been occupying this place since 18th century. It's still crazy that you are calling them refugees. Not all of them are refugees. I understand that certain amount of refugees are in the refugee camp, but you can't call all Nuer people refugees and ask them to leave. That would only harm you as Anuak people, and it will also harm the Nuer people, because when war like this happens, no one wins. It hurts both sides. So we have to be able to coexist, and the leaders really need to hold those Anuak criminals accountable, because if you have not been terrorizing this community, we would be still living in peace side by side. There's been actually so much patience, especially when the leadership is in the hand of a Nuer person. They don't want to escalate things and make it seem like it's because the leadership is on our hand, right? But the leadership of Gambella is actually in a Nyak hand, and they have not done much holding these people accountable. And guess what? That's the result that's happening right now. I'm not saying that I support it. I really condemned it. I don't want anyone harmed. I don't want the kids harmed, the women harmed. Anyone who is not terrorizing the community should not be harmed, okay? But Anuak people has the responsibility of literally bringing those criminal up, because this escalated because they just killed an official again in Gambella, right? Let's not do some false narrative here, because Gambella region belong to Nuer people just as much as Anuak people in current day. And that would be a hard thing to undo. And you cannot undo it. You cannot undo that by terrorizing the Nuer community, because they will respond back as they are responding back now. Historically, yes, the Anuak came into this land first, but the Nuer were right behind them, right? Like they've been here since God knows when. So the land that is classified as, so part of it is classified as Ethiopian, belong to some of the Nuer just as much. Not all Nuer are refugees. So slow down with that narrative and let's move forward better.